Today we'll be looking at a lesser known game, but one that I've been playing for years. It's called Drelbs, and it was originally released on the Atari system in 1983 and ported to the Commodore 64 and the Apple II computer. Today I'll be showing you the Apple II version. This particular disc is a pirated version, and it says it's been cracked by the intern of Blackbag and Mr. Echo? Mr. Echo, why does that name sound so familiar?
Well, then what is the reason, Mr. Echo?
You do not know who I am.
Of course, that makes complete sense. I mean, Mr. Echo and Blackbag? Like Mr. Echo and Black Smoke, perhaps? And didn't Mr. Echo use that Apple II computer down in the hatch? He could have been programming Drelbs. Okay, maybe I'm reaching. So what would an 80s game be without a nice corny backstory? I won't bore you with the whole premise, but essentially Drelbs live in a time of unicorns and sorcerers living peaceful, unhurried lives until the evil Trollobors came and enslaved all of the Drelbs except one. That's you. You have to save your comrades and, quote, restore love to its rightful place. So you start the game on what the manual calls the atomic Flipgrid, essentially just a bunch of horizontal and vertical lines. All you need to do is push the lines so that they form a square. Once formed, the square cannot be broken except for these creepy faces that appear on them. The game calls them Gorgolites, and after a few seconds, they'll destroy your square, forcing you to recreate it. Bastards. Also watch out for the Trollobors that chase after you, as well as tanks that circle around the grid. Their shots ricochet off the lines. Once you've formed all the squares that can be made, a warp hole will temporarily appear on the faces of the Gorgolites. Touch them to go to the second part of the level. So in the dark corridor, you have to free all of the Drelbs on the screen by moving over them. The Gorgolite's going to chase after you, and he shoots at you. His shots are really predictable. He shoots vertically, then horizontally, and just repeats over and over again. So this first stage is pretty easy. In the second stage, there's two of the Gorgolites chasing after you, and in stages 3 and up, they get faster and faster, and there's more Drelbs to rescue, so it gets very difficult very fast. In the second level, there's double of every enemy, so it's going to be twice as hard. If you can actually close a square with the Trollobor inside, he turns into a green face and it immobilizes him for a few seconds. The hardest move to pull off in this game is to trap two Trollobors in the same square. Yeah, what now, bitches? There are two different items you can collect while you're on the grid. One's a green heart, which freezes Trollobors. It makes it easier for you to trap them in a square if you want to. And the other is a white diamond, which is more rare. This creates a warp zone, allowing you to bypass the need to create all the squares. Every now and then, the Gorgolite faces transform into a young lady asking for help. She appears twice during each transformation, initially for 1 second and then again for half a second. If you kiss her, you proceed to a bonus screen, getting 150 points for each square created. I always wondered who this woman was and why the Drelb wants to kiss her. The manual calls her the Mystery Lady. She's more of a distraction than anything. Most of the time I die trying to get her. In the later levels, the window of time to access a warp zone shortens to milliseconds, making it very easy to accidentally touch a Gorgolite. It's in these later levels that the dark corridor becomes the trickiest part of the game. Eventually, the Drelbs will fill out the entire screen, and the Gorgolites are going to be chasing you at light speed. In the end, I typically die before finishing the game. Even though it's not very well known, to me, Drelbs is an absolute classic, and it's just as fun to play now as it's ever been. I definitely recommend downloading it. Try it on any of the platforms. I've played the Atari, Commodore 64, and of course the Apple II version, and they're all a lot of fun. So go give it a shot, and thanks for watching.